Hey guys, Josh, Green Earth Landscape Management. Just want to let you know we appreciate you reaching out for your landscape needs. I'm going to go ahead and go over the scope of work, and this is the same video that the crew that's performing the work will watch, and to be able to see the scope of work. So if you have any comments, questions, feel free to let me know. Flip it around. So we're at the entrance right now. And so you can kind of see the weeds growing through. We're going to take a weed eater and kind of scalp them up. There will be a little nub there, and we'll spray with the herbicide. And of course, we'll kind of go through the beds. We'll scalp and rake, scalp and rake. There's really not much pruning. There we go. We could figure out what we want to do with this guy. Seems like I would at a minimum wall him up, take him off of the driveway, and just really do a good rake here. The shrubs look fine. Rake, bunch of leaves, just rake and clean. Blow the driveway, rake and clean, and we can contain. So we'll scalp the weeds and rake and clean, and we could tighten up this perimeter. You can see how it's coming. We can kind of scalp it and kind of wall it up so it's contained. Wall up the outside of the vegetation. Scalp and clean. Bunch of leaves, clean up, scalp and clean this area. Leave the moss, but just hit down the weeds and spray. Just again, scalp the weeds, rake. We would wall up that vegetation in the back, rake and clean the weeds. So we would rake and clean the leaves going all the way down. And so of course we'll follow that bed all the way down. I'll wrap around, and I would wall up this, make it nice and tight. And back here, I would just stop at that fence at the corner and just rake and clean, scalp out those weeds, spray, rake and clean. Same thing with this guy. I would actually lift him up, take the lower branches so you can get a mower, a bunch of that stuff. I would lift up this guy, some of those lower ones, scalp and clean. And same thing with this. I would scalp, clean, spray inside. Scalp and clean. Let's see what's going on over here. What I would do here, you can see, I would just scalp and clean a nice barrier, keep this nice and clean, then keep that, just leave that natural. I would take care of these two lower limbs, same thing with that guy. All these trees I would skirt up. This guy's growing, I would take those rings out, keep the foliage up here. And again, we'll just scalp and spray. We would just make a run around and everything in nice and clean. All these, I would say no pruning. Everything looks pretty good. So rake. We would clean up back there. Rake. So these leaves I would clean up. We got quite a bit. So I will rake up all these. So we just hit down, leave the moss, but just kind of hit down the weeds and spray. Again, rake and clean. Out to that back tree. Then to that other one. Rake and clean. Then whatever you want to do with these guys. These guys are, I would do an extreme cut, extreme prune, and see what they do. If they live, good. If they don't, they don't. So rake and clean. I would wall up the blackberries, of course, mow. It'll take a couple mows, but I would wall up the blackberries. You know, this is dead. I would get rid of that guy, prune him back. Same thing with that guy. I would just take him out. I would wall up this guy and hit the tops, promote some growth. Flat top and spray. Just flat top and spray the crest rock. Just flat top all this. Flat top the perimeter. So we would leave these no touch. Whoa, whoa. So no touch, just pick weeds, fluff, rake. We would clean out this bed. And clean out this bed, just leave the strawberries, leave this guy, clean out everything else, leave that guy. And I would just blow out the rocks and pick weeds and spray. So we would scalp out. So same thing, rake and clean the top beds. Rake and clean. Up there. All right, we appreciate it, guys. If you have any comments, questions, feel free to reach out.